making indents in this lead. Hard squeeze up the Botany, hard squeeze and Botany. Hard squeeze gets the better of Botany, and hard squeeze draws away and won at 3/4 of a length. Hard squeeze, Do Ya Punk, 100 metres to go. 2 lengths in front of Rogue Rocker, and Tommy Stockdale's got his double. Do Ya Punk, a length Rogue Rocker, Cristania. 100 metres to go is a good length and a half in front of Albanian I Am, who's cutting into the margin. Mo Bader needs the line, but found it. Mo Bader.
Welcome back to the preview, everybody, for Midweek Racing, Sandown, Lakeside. Can't wait for this card. There looks to be a couple of absolutely cracking chances on it. And a couple at value, too, that I'm pretty keen on as well. But let's see how we can go. Let's find the winners. Let's get into the preview. Race number 1 at Sandown Lakeside is a 2-year-old handicap over the 1,300 metres, and I'm very keen here on Spring Eagle. I think it's a good thing to start the day for Gavin Badgegood and Craig Neal. Dawn Barry, number 1. Froggy should be able to send it straight to the lead, and I don't think they're going to catch it. Won the maiden at its first race start impressively at sail over the 1,000 metres by just nearly a length. They went to Caulfield in the 2-year-old handicap behind Outback Miss Scorsese Malibu. Well beaten, but that was a good race. They ran 4th at Flemington in the Next Gen Series final behind Stellar Olympus, Eugenus, and Extreme Spirit. That was, again, a good race. So back in grade to a midweek level here. I think that this horse can score another win on the board here. From Pianki for second, I think can run well. Spirit of Nuri, good chance. And Spellmaster I was happy to take on. Comes through a pretty weak maiden. But I'm pretty keen here on Spring Eagle in the first. 25 to win, Sandown Lakeside, race 1. Race number 2 at Sandown Lakeside is a 2-year-old maiden over the 1,400 metres, and I'm with Heaven Forbid for Michael Price and Mick Kent Jr. Bo Merton's in the saddle. Dawn Barrier one, important to find the rail with these 2-year-olds so they can have something to guide them. At 340, I think it's a cracking price. Out from 290, so I'm a little bit worried about that in that respect, but I still think it can win. June Ho for second has been well back since the markets first went up. Was an impressive run last start, finishing hard from the back of the field on the synthetic track, but comes up in grade in my opinion, but does have race experience. I Gotcha can run well for the Mar Eustace camp. Matty Cartwright in the settle, and has he got it? Damien Oliver sure has, and I think can run well at $17 now, 23. But Heaven Forbid for mine. Sandown Lakeside race 2, 30 the win. Race number 3 at Sandown Lakeside is a benchmark 70 for the Fleece and Mares over the 1,400 metres, and I'm with Ellen's License. It looks a good thing here. 58.5 kilos for Luke Campbell and Patrick Payne. Really consistent this horse, winning 3 races. Was a big win first up, and I think can go right on with it here. Drawn a bit sticky, but I don't think that'll worry it. Its class should get it through here and be bolting in. Star Mistress for second ran well and won last start, beating a good horse in Von Hawk. Geordie Childs in the saddle retains the ride from the Waterhouse and Bott combination, she's building a title record herself. Alan Mack, down from Sydney for Damien Oliver. Matty Smith, I think can run well. 4th up, hard fit, can take it, can run well. And Adela Moore, surprised that this horse is big odds as it is, but then again, it hasn't shown anything, but it's way back in grade here. Anywhere near its best could bolt in here, but Ellen's License on top, race 3 Sandown Lakeside. I'm happy to have it on top, 40 the win. Race number 4 at Sandown Lakeside is a 3-year-old and a benchmark 70 handicap over the 2,400 metres, the first of the 2 staying events in the day, and I'm pretty keen here on Funambulist. Ran a cracking race last start, running second for Anna Barnation, who brought it down from Sydney, first start in Melbourne, and ran an absolute cracker. And now Celine Gaudry has the ride and takes the weight off. Rode it last start and rode it an absolute treat. Jules a bit sticky in barrier number 8, but should settle about midfield and be charging over the top of them late, so I'm pretty confident it can win. Alhambra led for second. Beat Funambulist last up, and again now draws sticky for Lockie overall, but I still think can run well. Here for a good time, always tries his guts out, ran 3rd in the above mentioned race, and Savvy Valentero ran 4th in the same race first. The same first 4 out of the staying race a couple of weeks ago, but I'm with Funambulist on top to win this time. 25 to win, race 4, Sandown Lakeside. Race number 5 at Sandown Lakeside is a 3-year-old and up benchmark 70 handicap over the 2100 metres, and I'm with Mystery Moment here. Who knows what this horse can pull out here, but I think it's going to be very hard to beat with the 54.5 kilos. Rumu Pin in this saddle disqualified its last two because he rode it, but now retains the right here, brings the weight down, good draw, really confident that I think that this horse can win. Probably looking for this trip now, and was good its past two. Funny if it won, I think is again building a tidy record for itself. Paddy Payne, Luke Campbell, good combination, and I think can run well from barrier number 1. Clayton Moore, Thorin came out and won on Saturday, but and franked the form of its win last up, but now has the big weight for Gemma Riley and Carleen Heffel, looking to win the premiership. And Sarah Rockford was just outclassed last start in Sydney and can run really well here for Ben Melliman, and I think can run well. But Mystery Moment on top, 25 to win, Sandown, Hillside, Lakeside, race 5. Race number 6 at Sandown Lakeside is a benchmark 64 handicap for the 3-year-olds over the 1200 metres, and I am with the Swooper. I found it hard to split the Swooper and bit of the Blarney, but I've gone with the Swooper narrowly on top for Damien Oliver and the Hawks team. I just think it's a good chance here. If you go back and have a look at its form, it's got really good form on the board. From barrier number 10, likely goes straight to the lead, and I don't think anything's going to take it on. And at $11, it's a cracking price for a good horse. Ran 4th to Jack Cano on debut, then went to the Valley, was narrowly beaten in the maiden, then got the maiden out of the way. Damien Oliver in the saddle, bolting in that night by 2 lengths. Damien Oliver absolutely stole it, and then was disappointing, I'll have to admit, in the 64, but given a good break, returning, good price, the goat on. I think it'll run well. I think it'll be running really well and winning. Bit of the Blarney for second. Comes out of a good main, dominant win. Chris Waller, John McNeil can run well. Mighty Sapphire, I thought could run well in for third. Field of Praise, over the odds of $26 in for fourth. But the Swooper, race 6 Sandown Lakeside, 8 each way, and 5 to win on Bit of the Blarney. Race number 7 at Sandown Lakeside is a benchmark 70 handicap over the 1200 metres, and I've got Redmond on top. There's no way in the world this horse should be $15. Luke Campbell takes the claim of the 2 kilos, bringing it down to 16.5. He still has to carry the weight and deserves to, but and agreed last start he was disappointing, but he's drawn barrier number 4. He should lead on his head here. This is a horse that was Group 3 placed back in New Zealand, so I think can run well here, and will likely be in the lead, and he won't be able to be caught, and at $15 it's just over the odds. Jack of it, I think, can run well in for second. Tazi Collins got the goat in the saddle and ran really well last start, and Kalashani lad the old boy back as pretty as he left. 26 is over the odds, but Redmond 20 to win the race 7. I think it's crazy price at $15. Race number 8 at Sandown Lakeside is a benchmark 70 handicap over the mile, and you have to wait to the last hit for my best bet, but it's here. Time Quest on top, and I think it's going to take a lot of beating here. Was dominant last start when it came down to Melbourne. Craig Newton in the saddle here, drawn 11, perfect, gets back, runs on, and it'll be too good for this field, I'm predicting, and I think it will be because it's got a lot of class on its hands, and it was dominant last start. Bigolino for second, I'm worried about. Laura Lafferty was on last start, had the tricking draw, put it straight into the lead and bolted in, and I think can adopt similar tactics here and set it up for Time Quest. Frigid the Grey comes out of a good race at Caulfield, though that was disqualified with the Rumour pin situation, and Irish Rockstar won by 7 lengths last start. $26 here, that's just the wrong price. But Sandown Lakeside race 8, 50 the win on Time Quest. I'm really confident on his chances. Thank you everyone for watching my preview for Sandown Lakeside for the Wednesday midweek meeting, and I'm really confident on a couple on this card. Going to be an absolute cracker. I think it's going to be a really good day. Good track, wet track, don't know. Done my form for a wet track, and it should be playing in that range. So confident to see how this track goes, and I can't wait to see what I can do and how many winners I can tip. But I thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you for the Dean Lester Flemington Cup on Saturday. Going to be an absolute cracker, remembering a really good man of the industry. But I can't wait for this card, and I can't wait for Flemington either. So let's bring it on and get the winners.